Good afternoon to all of Miss Holcomb's students. Today we're going to talk about a course that is in itsLearning. All of you have been registered for this course, and it has some valuable resources for you as you're writing your research papers and as you're doing creative pieces. This is my dashboard. As you can see, this is mine. When you go to your dashboard, you'll see all your courses over here. The course that I need you to look for, if you're taking notes or typing anything in somewhere on your phone or somewhere as notes, the course we're talking about is SFHS Information Commons. You should have received an email about this course being added. So I'm going to click in SFHS Information Commons. And when I get here, there are three sections here: ebooks, research resources, and tools and critical thinking. The ebooks are here on the main page as well. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to get into some of these. These ebooks are things that we actually have in our collection. These are Gale reference books, and then these are CK12 Flex books. We're going to start here with the ebooks in our collection. You do not need anything to get into these except for the login that you use for your computer. And those directions are here. Use your regular login for the computers to log in to get access to these books. So I'm going to click, and I'm going to log in as me. And when I log in, I will see all of the ebooks in our collection pull up. We have 271 ebooks. The books that you see that have the infinity sign on them are simultaneous unlimited ebooks, which means that every student in our school could have this book open at the exact same time and be using that book. These are excellent resources for research. Most of them are Bloom's resources. Harold Bloom is the top literary critic in the country, so you would definitely want to see him. You can go through and look at these. You can annotate in these and take notes. It takes a little bit of time for some of them to load. As I'm going through, you can see the different things that are there. If you want to sort by subject, you can do that as well. If you want to come down to literature, you can sort by literature. You can look at any different thing you would like to do. You can do series. We do have Bloom's guides, literary criticism, and literary themes if you would like to use those. And you can look at those differently. Here's Bloom's guides. Let's say that you are studying The Great Gatsby. I would just open this book. I click on open. I can look at this in a two-page view. This button actually takes me through the book. And shows me pieces of literary criticism and items that I may need to help me with my research. While I'm in the book, I can highlight different pieces that I want. I can add a note and put in the title, my note, and save that. And then when I get finished, I can go to book notes and it shows me what I highlighted and the actual note that I took, and I can print those if I would like. So these are the regular ebooks from the main page of our course. That was the ebooks here. You also have, in our Gale reference books, you have some other books, and if you will remember, the password is located right here, is War Eagle all together. So I'm going to type in War Eagle and hit proceed. When I get here, some of the best books that you can use for your research is in literature, novels for students. I'm going to select novels for students, and you see that we have volumes 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 16. If I want to search within this series, I simply put Frankenstein, if I'm studying the book Frankenstein, and I'm going to hit search, and it tells me that this is in volume 1. I want to look at this as the PDF. To get it just like the book. Here I see that I have information. I have page 180 to 202. I love novels for students. I think that as a teacher, it gives students great information. It gives you some information for understanding the novel. If you're in an AP course and you're reading novels, I think if you are not making good contribution to the conversation or discussion, then you should come look up that novel in Novels for Students, and then kind of figure out some of the basics and be more prepared when you're doing discussion in class. Let me show you how this works. Right here, and I'm going to bring this down a little bit so you can see the full page. Here I have just some basic background. Then after the basic background, I have author biography. Not really going to help you in research. Then I have plot summary. Not going to help you in a research paper, but it will help you just learning a book for discussion. Then it's going to give you characters, just the basics about different characters. I love some of the pull-out sessions that it has. This section is on all the media adaptations that have been created in Hollywood by different companies that have ever been done for your novel. We have more on the characters. More. Then we get to themes. To me, this section helps students when they're trying to write a paper and they're not real sure what they want to do that paper on. Here you have alienation and loneliness. Nature versus nurture, appearances versus reality, and there's going to be more, but we're at another pull-out section that they have. When I was an English teacher, one of the things that I always did is I encouraged students to look at this topics for further study section. When my students had the option to write a paper on what they wanted to write it on, I encouraged them to use Novels for Students, to look at the themes and then find criticism to support that theme, and then also to use this topics for further study. And then they had to find criticism to support that topic for further study. Then we move to style, and it talks about the narration and the setting. You have historical context, which we know plays a big piece into the writing of novels. There's a great compare and contrast pull-out section. We're only on page 192. We still have 10 pages to go. And now you get a critical overview And then we get to the good part. After the critical overview, you have articles of criticism. This one is the first article of criticism, which is written by George Griffin, and it will tell you in the italics what that article is about. Then you scroll through, you see his. You have a pull-out section of, if I liked Frankenstein, what do I read next? We're still in George Griffith's article of criticism. Then, as I scroll through, I will find, here's Joyce Carol Oates' article of criticism. And then I'll keep going. And then the best part is they have their sources here and give you more information for further study, where to look. And you can go look those articles up as well to help you find more resources. So, how did I get here again? I was in Information Commons, and on the main page, I went to Gale Reference Ebooks, and I clicked in, and all I had to put in was the password, which is War Eagle. So these are some of the sources that you use. You can also use some of these research resources. And if you come down, you'll see some things under language arts. This takes you to Galileo. You can browse by subject. Go to Literature, Language, and Literary Criticism. And here's the Literary Reference Center. And it says you need to enter your literary work. So I'm going to type in Frankenstein again as my literary work of choice. And here I instantly get 544 different pieces. If I want to tell it I specifically want literary criticism, I limit it to those 95. And then I know what I have. I also, as I'm looking through these, want to make sure that I have PDF or HTML full text articles when I open them up. How did I get to that? I was in itsLearning, and I went to the SFHS Commons course, Information Commons, and I went to Research Resources, Language Arts, Literary Reference Center, and I followed that path to Literary Reference Center once again. And this is the database that I came to. Remember, please, that as you write scholarly papers, that you are going to create a bibliography or a works cited page for professors in college who are definitely going to be looking for scholarly databases and information. They are not going to want to see single websites on your bibliography because anyone can publish to the web. They would much prefer to see scholarly works. So I hope this information is helpful for you. Feel free to use anything you can find in Information Commons. That course was created just for you. And I hope you have a great day.